Aries. Healing Grasshopper here to do your second week in February reading, the 7th to the 14th. Let's see what we got. Page of Pentacles. Nice. So the Page of Pentacles at the beginning of your reading means that you are starting a new lucrative task, or you are starting to see the profits come in, or you are starting to see how something will be profitable. The pages are all about beginnings, not reversed, right? And the pentacles is material abundance, right? The beginning of material abundance. So this can be anything from beginning to see that the abundance is coming in, or actually starting to receive the abundance. Either way, this is exciting news. Four of Cups. Okay. So this is like the jaded card, the fed up card, the petulant card, right? This guy has already received three other cups that haven't really worked all that well for him. So it's like, why should this new cup being presented to him by spirit going to make any kind of a difference? So he's not uh, putting forth the effort to reach out for this cup. He's like, yeah, no thanks, right? But of course, we know that this isn't the best attitude to have, right? Because nothing is permanent, right? We could have gone through difficult times, but at some point, no matter how long we've been going through these difficult times, at some point it has got to end. So when it does end, we have got to be prepared to take advantage of that change. And we are in the midst of that change. We've been talking about this change for at least 2 years now, right? 2 years ago, it was the change is coming. Last year was things are changing. And this year is the change is here, heads up, right? Now, that is because if you're new to this channel and you haven't been following astrology, which I'm not an astrologer, by the way, but I do mention uh, astrological events that apply to us on this channel, right? So, um, Pluto in Capricorn for the past 20 years before it moved into Aquarius in November of 2024. So, all of 2024, it was like things are going to change, improvement is coming, right? And then last year was we are in the transition. And now it is, we're still somewhat in transition, but things are starting to click into place here where we are starting to benefit, or at least be presented with the opportunities to benefit. And we are recognizing it here. So over here, this is This is spirit calling you out, Aries. Like, be sure that you have shed this bad attitude, which I feel like most most Aries have. Last year, you were the sign that was really gung ho on the new energy, more than the rest of the signs. You were far ahead of everyone else. Like, yay, I feel Pluto has left Capricorn. Let's get on our horses and go type thing. So, I don't think that this is too strong of a caveat for you. It's just, Aries, make sure that there's no residual like stinking thinking left over from the difficult times that you went through. Um, there's nothing wrong um, with caution, especially when it comes, to I'm sorry guys, I had to pause it. I just I had to go take care of something. Um, okay. So we were talking about the stinking thinking and how we can't let it get in our way of um moving forward towards our goals and our dreams. Um, the Emperor is about taking charge of your life. The Emperor is the CEO card in my readings. He is the CEO of his own kingdom, of his worlds. He takes charge of things. He gets what he wants. He knows how to get what he wants. And he never wavers. He knows that he's going to get there eventually. He does not doubt himself. So you see how these two are contrasted here? You want to move away from this energy and move into this energy because the atmosphere here in the earth split is taking us to places that we haven't even imagined yet, right? We want to be in the high vibrational earth. We don't want to be left here in the low vibration because it's your choice. If you want to stay here in low vibration, you and you focus on that, that is where you will stay. And I don't want that to sound like a threat, guys. All I'm saying is that you don't want to delay your positive movement forward because you can move in either direction on your own steam, if that makes sense. You see? Oh my God. Two of Wands. So appropriate for your next card. Three of Wands, not reversed. This is about the choices. I was just talking about this, right? You can move in either direction on your own steam, your own choice. Twos are about choices. So this guy has chosen a task because each of these wands represents an action. He has chosen a course of action and he has chosen correctly because he is holding the world in his hands. The world is now at his fingertips, right? So this is about making the right choice for oneself. But wow, whew, chills. What was I just talking about? The earth split. The world is about new beginnings, about moving through a portal, moving to a new timeline. This very much depicts the earth split that I was talking about. And if you guys don't know what I mean by the earth split, it's also called the Great Ascension. Um, you can look up Dolores Cannon. She is well, she's no longer with us, but she was a fascinating woman. I think she was a psychology PhD, and she did deep hypnotherapy sessions with people to the point where people would start to remember their past lives and that kind of thing. She went very, very deep. Um, and she had come across with one of her patients an entity that started to tell her about the path, humanity's path, right? And then she would go and hypnotize another person, and the same entity would come through the next patient that didn't know patient number one, and then patient number three, four, five, the same entity would come forth and have these conversations with her and tell her about humanity's future. And part of this entity, well, and part of the predictions or the prophecies, I guess, from this entity was the earth split, where things would come to a point where uh, humanity will ascend, but not everyone. So it's a point where there's enough of humanity that decides to ascend, that reaches a certain vibrational level to be aligned with ascension, is when the great split starts, right? And when that starts, the higher vibrational people begin to move into a new timeline, right? And the people in the lower vibration choose to stay in the third dimension. Um, so it doesn't mean that we're going to disappear from each other's lives. It's just each group is going to have a different outlook and different manifestations in their life. So the high vibrational ones um, will choose a timeline where there is more love, high vibration, abundance, um, but the lower vibration will continue to experience uh, anger, lack, um, inhumanity, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's as much as I'm going to explain it here. If you're really interested, please go look up Dolores Cannon and the Earth Split. It's fascinating. Um, but what Dolores Cannon has predicted is upon us now. The Earth Split has begun. Um, and if you really pay attention, you are going to notice. And right now, well, for me in my life, I've noticed the contrast of the low vibration. It's like as this earth split continues, um, I am starting to see a lot of people planting themselves in the third dimension, like Karens, like these people who commit these terrible crimes that we see all the time that are happening more and more. People that you see in the supermarket in your everyday lives, like, what is going on with this person? Why are they so, that kind of thing. Um, but the things in my life seem to be slowly improving. Um, Meeting more people that are higher vibrational and that kind of thing. Okay. So, anyway, so far, this is very much talking about a crossroads that you are in, Aries. So, pay attention. Now is the time to do your best to turn away from low vibration, to bring love into your life wherever you can. So that means coming across people who anger you or disappoint you, to exercise your love, understanding, and forgiveness instead of anger, resentment, you know, vengeance, those low vibrational feelings and actions. You want to turn away from that because you are going through a portal and you are driving the vessel going through this portal, which is yourself, obviously, right? But as you're going through this portal, where do you want to come out at the other end? In the high vibrational fifth dimension or in the third dimension? So, this is what this is talking about right here, that uh, spirit is presenting to you abundance and high vibration. Let's work on shedding the low vibration and the petulance and taking control of our life and steering our own ship so that we can move through the portal to a higher vibration. So beautiful. This is ours too. This is our third card here. King of Wands. This is more taking charge. King of Wands is a trailblazer. I call this the Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk card. Um, they are not walking in anyone else's footsteps. They are blazing their own path and creating something new and abundant with defiance and confidence. That's this guy. Under the emperor, right? This is the CEO of your own life, CEO of your own life, and making your own decisions based on what drives you instead of what others tell you should be doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't take anyone's suggestion or learn from others, but you're certainly not um, going against your own feelings because someone else says so. You know, King of Wands is not going to walk away from something that inspires him because his parents told him to go do something else. Yes, he honors his parents, but this is his rodeo, not his parents' rodeo. That kind of thing. Um, which is just an example. You're blazing your own path. Aries, I got to tell you, you guys, and if you've been subscribed to me already, You remember last year when I was calling you guys the badasses. Yeah, you are one of like two. I'd say yours in Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn sun, so I always am watching the Capricorn readings of my own. I'm always in it, invested in the Capricorn readings. But Aries, it's you guys are the other readings that I'm always like, wow, look at Aries. I'm always really admiring of Aries fiery energy. Um, so what I'm saying is, Aries, you guys have a special, je ne sais quoi, a, a special fire, a fuel that really is going to help you manifest faster than anyone in the zodiac. Is what I'm feeling. And I hope you really embody that because it is the truth. There are some areas that I see in my life that I'm like, wow, I shake my head in humor at them because they remind me of like the reading that I had done 2 or 3 days previously. Like, wow, look at Aries. You guys really need to step into your power because you have no idea what you can create. And I'm going to stop preaching at you. Let's get your other cards here. And I just heard dream big. Aries, don't settle. Like, oh, this job is good enough. Oh, it pays pretty well. Like, that's not what this time is for, Aries. I mean, listen, Aries, if you need the money and you're presented with the job that you need, absolutely take it or whatever, but don't stay there for very long if it's not what lights a fire in your belly. Stay focused on whatever it is that's lighting a fire in your belly because that's where you're supposed to be. So do not put away any of the dreams that you have like, oh, I want to be president, let's say. You know, don't shut it down like, oh, I can't do that. I'll never be president. If you want to be president, you put yourself in line to do it. Go run for some kind of office so you can get yourself on a path to the presidency. Because this is very much like whatever it is that's driving you forward, you is attainable for you. You have the hunger to be a billionaire. Well, that's your path then. Get on it. You want to be a serious actor? Well, you know, pack your bags and move to LA or New York. New York is another path. Too. One more, please. Okay, there we are. This is the first. Not reversed. Nice. The sun under the worlds. This one here. What was this here? Here. Okay. The Seven of Wands is about you doing things in a clever way, right? This is the working smarter, not harder card. He is taking a little cheeky shortcut to winning, right? This is also called like the thief card, but that's not what it's talking about here. This guy has stolen these swords from this encampment here so that there are five less swords used against him. He is weakening his opponent. This is about getting ahead in a clever way, which is absolutely something that the King of Wands would do, right? He's the trailblazer, the innovator. This is this guy. He does things in a clever way. Um, the sun here is a positive outlook, right? And of course, it's under the worlds. And you see how the contrast is here. You've got the petulance and the low vibration going through a portal, and you have positive outlook, high vibration here. So this is flanking the world here. It's like you choose. This is the same message. The Three of Swords here is about the things that have hurt you in the past. Um, that you carry forward with you. This is saying many things here. This is acknowledging the fact that you were hurt, acknowledging the fact that you still feel these things and they're still affecting you in the present, which is okay. Just don't let it affect the decisions in your life. And it would be very appropriate for you to have like the King of Cups here, because the King of Cups, you know, he doesn't let his emotions make decisions for him. He is rational, right? So that's what this is pretty much talking about. But it's also talking about, especially since it's under the Emperor and the King of Wands, it's like you can also alchemize your pain and make it work for you. And learning from the past, learning from your pain. And also looking over here at the Seven of Swords, it's like I hear my father in my head, like he used to say a lot, being pissed off for success, right? Where success is the best revenge, right? You can have your pain fuel your actions in a positive way, where you're like, I am rising above this pain. And how you don't need to take revenge on people or whatever. They're going to see your glow up eventually. And that will be revenge enough. There's so much that this is saying here. Also, that the pain that we go through is never in vain. There's always lessons in the pain that we go through. And let's make sure that, you know, we squeeze every last bit of juice from um, that pain, that we get every lesson from it so that it can fuel our success later. Knight of Pentacles. Reversed. It is reversed. Okay. So Knight of Pentacles reversed says a couple of things. I have to be careful in the way that I put this because I don't want to discourage you. Before I say this, Aries, know that you are on the right path. There's a good like 85% of you who I don't need to preach at. You're already on your path. You know what you're doing. You're a trailblazer, all that business. But there are some of you, Aries, who are still somewhat delayed by your pain here. And you're feeling a little lost. Okay? Because the Knight of Pentacles, first of all, upright, the Knight of Pentacles is what I call the Rome wasn't built in a day card. And it's like, you should not be impatient and you should be confident that whatever you desire is, the effort and the journey will be worthwhile. And you shouldn't be in a hurry. And you know that it's going to take time, right? So, because he's on a horse that is standing still, but he's got a pentacle in his hand. He is certain that he's going to win at some points. He's not in a hurry. Reversed here can mean a couple of things. Number one, a block, or number two, impatience, or a lack of foresight along with that impatience, right? Um, so this is absolutely Three of Cups, a lack of foresight. You know, I mean, this guy is not reaching out to receive a cup that's being handed to him by the universe. Come on, you got to be kidding me. So, and he's doing that though for some very good reasons though. You know, you make fun of the guy sitting there, sitting under the tree, like, come on, you dummy, go and reach for the cup. But he feels the way he feels for a reason. He's been through it and he doesn't see any way forward. Um, which is what this is echoing here. Some of you guys are still in the wound licking phase to where you're like, ouch, that hurt. I am stuck in a quagmire. All I feel is pain. I don't see any way out. Meanwhile, the sun is rising. There's a big rainbow. The pot of gold is rising up from, I don't know, the ground. There's all this, carnival happening around you and ambrosia being handed to you, and you're like, oh no, I'm still, all I see is pain. You understand? So I'm not saying that you should hurry up and get over it because your grief is your grief and you should absolutely feel your grief, but just don't let it overcome you and blind you to your blessings. Don't let it overwhelm you. Let the pain heal. When you do that by acknowledging the pain, but at the same time allowing yourself to understand and believe that pain doesn't last, that pain does subside, that wounds heal, and that at some point the sun will come out. You need to tell yourself that. And then this will turn upright for you in your life. And you will start to see the sun come out. You can use my mantra. I am loved, I am blessed, I am protected, I am supported. Say it over and over again in a meditative state. And really process what each line is saying. I am loved. I'm loved by the universe. I'm loved by spirit. Spirit is not punishing you. Spirit is putting you through things for a reason. Also, you can also have an exercise in gratitude for your pain. I know that sounds nuts, but you went through your painful things to teach you something. Thank Spirit for it. Thank you for what I went through. It was difficult, but I hope that I've learned all that I was supposed to learn. If I haven't, please help me to see. You know, I am blessed. Blessings are always on their way to you in some way, shape, or form. And in different areas on your path, I am protected. You have a whole spirit team, uh, your guardian angel team, because you don't have just one, you have several, there to protect you and steer you and guide you. I'm loved, I'm blessed, I'm supported, guidance. Be sure that you have a direct line to spirit. You are always talking about to spirit, about your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your pain. Okay, Aries? This is much longer than I anticipated, but I guess you needed it. So that is your reading, unless we have advice, clarity? No. Um, for those of you who stayed this long, thank you so much. Um, for those of you who have already subscribed, thank you. You've helped me get to my milestone of 1,000 subscribers in December. I appreciate you. Every single one means the world to me. But even if you think you are subscribed, have a quick look for me and see if you really are. Some of you will be surprised to see that you're not. If you're not subscribed yet, please do. It's a very quick gesture that costs you nothing, but really does help me out. So thank you. Don't forget the notification bell because there are plenty of videos coming your way. We're doing monthly, weeklies, bonus. I'm starting to do timeless again and astrological events. And who knows, maybe pick a cards, much more. Okay. So don't miss them. If you're really inclined to helping this channel, the other thing you can do is go have a look at my playlist section. I have many of them made. Choose one and have it on as background noise as you go about your daily tasks, or even while you're winding down in bed, or even while you're sleeping, because watch hours are really the best help for a growing channel, a small channel that is growing. So thank you. Oh, don't forget to comment. Tell me how this resonates. If you have questions, suggestions, I answer every single comment with glee. I love hearing from my viewers, so don't hold back. Looking forward to hearing from you. I will talk to you soon, Aries. Love, light, and many blessings.